loneliness and darkness have just robbed me of my valuables. What progress we are making. In the Middle Ages they would have burned me. Now they are content with burning my books. Love in the form of longing and deprivation lowers the self-regard. Ego is not master in its own house. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. The more the fruits of knowledge become accessible to men, the more widespread is the decline of religious belief. My love is something valuable to me, which I ought not to throw away without reflection. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten? Where idea is, there shall ego be. The creative writer does the same as the child at play. He creates a world of fantasy, which he takes very seriously. No neurotic harbors thoughts of suicide, which are not murderous impulses against others, redirected upon himself. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea. They become powerless when they oppose it. Neurosis is the inability to tolerate ambiguity. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. The dream is the liberation of the spirit from the pressure of external nature, a detachment of the soul from the fetters of matter. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. Beauty has no obvious use, nor is there any clear cultural necessity for it. Yet civilization could not do without it. Everywhere I go, I find a poet has been there before me. Men are more moral than they think, and far more immoral than they can imagine. In mourning, it is the world which has become po and empty. In melancholia, it is the ego itself. Anatomy is destiny. No, our science is no illusion, but an illusion it would be to suppose that what science cannot give us, we can get elsewhere. The behavior of a human being in sexual matters is often a prototype for the whole of his other modes of reaction in life. Time spent with cats is never wasted. Where such men love, they have no desire, and where they desire, they cannot love. It is impossible to overlook the extent to which civilization is built up upon a renunciation of instinct. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. The liberty of the individual is no gift of civilization. It was greatest before there was any civilization. A man should not strive to eliminate his complexes, but to get into accord with them. They are legitimately what directs his conduct in the world. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. A woman should soften, but not weaken a man. We are so constituted that we can gain intense pleasure only from the contrast, and only very little from the condition itself. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. The intention that man should be happy is not in the plan of creation. Most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. Immorality, no less than morality, has at all times found support in religion. In the depths of my heart, I can't help being convinced that my dear fellow men, with a few exceptions, are worthless. He does not believe, that does not live according to his belief. Words and magic were in the beginning one and the same thing, and even today words retain much of their magical power. Conservatism, however, is too often a welcome excuse for lazy minds, loath to adapt themselves to fast-changing conditions. You wanted to kill your father in order to be your father yourself. Now you are your father, but a dead father.